Let's start off with the postponement of the ESM. How big an impact will delays have on Eurozone stability this summer?
The decision by the German Constitutional Court in Karlsruhe is quite a blowback to a speedy implementation of the ESM. As you know, the court has decided to delay the implementation to September, the judgment to September. And that, of course, increases uncertainty. Now, what is amazing is that the Constitutional Court essentially justifies the delay, or says the delay is not a problem because of the money that is available in the EFSF that would be enough to cover for Spain. Now, of course, the problem with that argument is that any delay increases uncertainty, and that may make even a program for Italy more likely. So if that was to happen, we would still be rather naked. And market pressure will continue to increase. So the justification is a bit odd. Having said this, the fact that we have 2 months now for the Constitutional Court to make up its mind may also give the opportunity to the German establishment to really reflect very carefully what does Germany want in the medium term? Where does Germany want to go in the next couple of years with the euro, with the EU? And I think we need a fundamental decision at the end of the day. What is really the long-term plan?
The EFSF will be propping up Spain for the time being, but how big a concern still is Italy?
Well, I'm in principle optimistic on the fundamentals of Italy. The external position of Italy is not so bad. Of course, the big problem in Italy is the rise in the interest rates, and that ultimately will endanger Italian solvency. But it's not a matter of a couple of weeks. I mean, these are slow-moving processes. So insolvency, or really the need to access finance, will come only in the medium run. So I'm a bit less concerned about the urgency in Italy. However, of course, if there's a major problem with the banking system, then we would indeed have a problem, and we would have to act much more quickly.
And how significant is the ECB's U-turn on write-downs and senior bondholders?
So I think the ECB's decision to change its stance on senior bondholder investment has come quite as a surprise to many, including, of course, the Irish finance minister, but also many other finance ministers. Now, this is a major shift in the policy stance, because it implies that in the case of a liquidation of a bank, senior bondholders really can pay their share in the restructuring or in the liquidation. That increases, of course, the risk to senior bondholders, and this has implications for the financing of banks all across Europe. Now, this is a major shift in policy stance, and the question is, what does this imply for bank-based finance? What does it imply for the structure of the financial system in Europe? And what does it imply also for the way we deal with bank-based financial intermediations?
So what are the immediate and long-term tasks at hand for Europe looking forward?
Well, I think in terms of the short-term decision-making, we need to sort out the problems, in the most urgent problems in the banking system. And then we need to think about, what is the long-term anchoring to really help the banking system to become stable again, because at the moment the banking system is really under pressure from all sides. There's a short-term funding problem, there's a short-term uncertainty problem, but then there's also a long-term uncertainty, a huge long-term uncertainty as regards the future of the euro, the future of the whole policy setup, the future of banking sector involvement and the like. And all this really is linked together. And I think we need to make up our mind about the long term, and we need to at the same time to address the short-term urgencies.